Hi everybody, this is Rajesh Jampala, Dean, PP Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh, India. Today we have with us Dr. K. Aaronkumar as a Chief Resource Person for the webinar on emotional intelligence and you. This emotional intelligence is a very relevant topic in the present times. As you are all aware, emotions plays a very key role in the day-to-day life as well as personal success. So Daniel Goleman the American psychologist, has proposed this particular concept, and he talks about self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and other social skills. So these having awareness about emotional intelligence itself is a real game changer for most of the youngsters. So we thought that Dr. Arun will guide the young students in terms of nurturing their emotional intelligence skills, so to further their career, to further their relationships. So now I request our MBA student Tejaswani to formally introduce our chief guest, Dr. Arun Kumar, a senior assistant professor from Villa College, Maldives. Over to Tejaswani.
A splendid good evening, everyone. Respected deans, sir, lecturers, and my dear friends. Dr. Arun Kakani is a curious individual who always perceived change as a catalyst of growth and prosperity. His journey of academia includes a few milestones as Masters in Commerce in 2009, Masters in Business Administration in 2010, and Doctorate in Human Resource Management in 2018. He is working in academia for over a decade. He started his career as a business executive in 2009, and later he joined the glorious role of academician in the same year. His specializations were marketing, human resource management, and accountancy. He is versatile in academia. He developed a module content and education sector. He has attended many workshops, seminars, and conferences both in country and abroad. He is currently working as a senior lecturer and business management program coordinator in Faculty of Business Management at Villa College, Maldives, for a past 6 years delivering lectures to undergraduate and graduate students and supervising keystone projects. His research interests include consumer behavior, organizational change, conflict and culture, talent acquisition, retention and management, and emotional intelligence as well. His personal interests include yoga and meditation, conscious consumerism, PETA, sustainable environmental practices, and social well being. He believes people are intellectually and physically similarly different and differently similar, and others to equality and diversity. It's our pleasure to have you here, sir. We are very eager to hear you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Arun, actually, welcome you.
Yes, sir.
You can start your session.
Sure,
the floor
sir.
is open to you.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh, sir. Thank you for your glorious introduction. And of course, Tejaswini, thank you very much, dear. So more or less that sums it up. Arun Kakani, and I would like to thank Rajesh, sir. I worked as a part-timer in PB Siddhartha College some time ago. So it's really a great opportunity for me to come back and deliver one more lecture. So without further ado, so I believe if the last statement, people are similarly different is similar, intellectually and physically. At the end of the day, we are conditioned is something I would like to talk towards the end of my presentation. So can you see the slides, everyone? Can someone confirm me that you can see the slides now? Yes, I believe.
Arun, it is perfectly all right.
All right. All right, sir. Good, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is the topic for today's guest lecture. It's a journey. I'll just give you some insights of what I have learned. Overview, what we're going to have today is I'll set up the scene, what we're exactly in, and let's talk about the pursuit of happiness. Then we are talking about, I will ask a simple question, which you can already see. Is it money or love? Then we'll talk about emotional memory, followed by, then we'll go into the topic actually, what is EI, what is emotional intelligence, and why. As Rajesh sir said earlier, the components of EI, and on the top of that, how to drive and build EI. As I say, life is full of opportunities. So how do we tune ourselves to the rhythm of our life is very important. And finally, choosing a life and some insights. So here is the scene. Most of you guys would agree to this, I believe. So our world is changing. Um the world, how it's changing very quickly after pandemic, particularly, has given us great insights. Some of common consequences. Competition is one, and people drop into depression and anxiety issues. Some master students write me mails that, sir, I'm not able to meet the timeline of my MBA project because I'm having some anxious issues and I'm meeting a therapist. So I gave a reply, dear, if that is the case, I don't mind about the vision of the timeline, but I would like to give you a therapeutical session on anxiety, how to overcome anxiety, and particularly lack of self-esteem. This is another issue. If you guys are aware of Maslow's need hierarchy theory, of course, self-esteem. Then work-life balance, particularly for employees, entrepreneurs, and even students as well. How much time are we spending with our work in the sense your education, and how much time are you spending with your family? So this balance is very crucial. Particularly as an expatriate living away with my family, I can absolutely say this is a very crucial factor. And also, break in relationships could be personal or professional. Similarly, restlessness. What we do to keep our body to have rest is different from how many hours we sleep. Sleep is different. Giving body rest is different. I want you guys to do a research on that again. And people want instant gratification. So this is another issue. People don't give time for things to happen. So sometimes, most of times, you might have heard, give it some time, give it some time, give it some time. So people want instant gratification, and also highly individualism. Individualism. I am the one. I am the one. I am the only one. So it's about me. It's about me. It's about me. So these are some of the consequences. Some of the consequences of um, how this world is changing and why people are not emotionally intelligent. So this is pretty simple. So there is an interesting survey which we're going to see. The government of Bhutan has developed a gross national happiness index. So their parameters were psychological well-being. I did a beautiful course on the science of well-being on Coursera. I'm sure you guys know Coursera, Udemy, edXL. Do find this course. This is by Yale University. It's a very beautiful course and very much applicable to students. The science of well-being. So that's a course. Go have a look. And good health. Health is wealth. I'm sure you would have heard that. And finally, time management. I say to my students, you got 24 hours. In 24 hours, let's say you sleep for 7 hours or 8 hours. Still, you have 16 hours. In 16 hours, you work for 8 hours or study for 8 hours. You still have 8 hours. What are you doing with all that 16 hours? Even a good sleep is also very important. So I'm sure you guys know what's a deep sleep, light sleep, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep. So yes, a good health is very crucial, and particularly time management as well. So similarly, moving on, the first World Happiness Report was compiled by Columbia University. That resonated idea of being health of a country. Ideal measurement is health of a country rather being only economic activity. So let me ask you a question. What do you think the world's happiest country would be? I'm not talking about individuals. Again, that is a subjective. You can put in your comments in the chat box. What could be the world's happiest country? Where do you want to go after you finish your MBA? Where do you want to work? In which country do you want to work? Which you think will give you a happiest life along with others? Happiness is not only individuals, right? It's about how we hold relationships with others as well. Any idea? Anyone? Which country could be the world's happiest country? Or which is the population that is most happiness. They have the most happiness in this world, who belong to a particular country. So they can put in the chat box, right? All right. So we will discuss that sometime later. So this is according to a report, the World Happiness Report, which is released sometime earlier. There's a hyperlink. You can click on that link and study the whole report. It's around 56 pages. Do go through it. So Finland, Denmark, and Switzerland, all three are European countries. Those who think America, or I don't know, America, Australia, New Zealand, they are also on the list. But top three countries are Finland. Finland is in Europe, Denmark, and as well as Switzerland as well. So they are ranked as the top three happiest countries. This is according to a research done by Henville and Company recently. They are doing this for the past 9 years. And okay, there's a next question. There's this one simple question I would like to ask. There are 150 countries in total in the list. Where would India be? Where can India be? It's not in top 10, which I can show you over here. First is Finland, second is Denmark, third is Switzerland, then Iceland, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, then comes New Zealand, then comes Australia, then comes Luxembourg. So this is a report collected by various parameters. GDP is one, social support is another, not just only GDP. We are not talking about what is the richest country in the world, but we are talking about what is the happiest country. It is estimated by GDP, social support, health, life expectancy, then freedom to make life choices, then generosity, perception of corruption, dystopia, and at a 95% confidence interval level. So moving on, this is collected by various businessmen who have visited those countries, who work in that country rather than from a government organization. So do go through this report. You'll find some good insights. And if you want to know where India is, if you can see, India is at 144th position. In 150 countries, we are 6 from the bottom. If you reverse the list, we are the 6th unhappiest country. So we'll see how and why these happen across the world, basically. So I want to ask a quick question. What is the purpose of financial well-being? Financial well-being, we have a lot of money. Secure future. Now secured future is again a subjective term. What is a secure future? How much bank balance should we have to feel that we are secure? Again, that leave to individuals. Again, prosperity. Again, prosperity in the absence of happiness. This is a quick question you can ask yourself, and you can get an answer. What's the purpose of financial well-being? How much money do we have, and how happy will we be? And what is prosperity, and what is absence of happiness? I was talking to a colleague of mine. He's a friend of mine. We were in the corridor. We were walking. We cross-faded each other, and I asked, Halim, how are you? So he said, I am not bad. Arun, how are you? I said, I am good. Then I said, Halim, if you're not bad, you're good. You're not on a hospital bed to feel that you're bad. So you're walking in front of me in college. You're in good health. There is a smile on your face. You should be happy, is what I have said. So, sir, can I expect interaction, or shall I proceed with my lecture? Any of such sort?
So Arun, actually,
Yes, sir.
they cannot talk to you directly because they're watching this through YouTube, but they can interact with you through the chat box.
Okay, so I was expecting some messages in the
Whenever
chat
the
box.
answers are there, we
Mhm.
will extrapolate on the screen so that you
Oh,
can see the answers.
okay, sir. Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Otherwise, you can continue your session, and at the end, we will ask the questions.
Sure, sir. Okay, that is fine with me as well. Thank you, sir. So let's talk about emotional memory. So we pass through a lot of emotions every day. Your breakfast was amazing. You had a great breakfast. Your mom, your father, or anyone in your family. So I don't really believe cooking is a gender-based skill. So your father could make a great breakfast. Your mother could make a breakfast. I learned cooking. So anyway, the catch here is you had a great breakfast. How long will that happiness go forward? That is what we call emotional memory. And particularly, if I ask you to remember one of your happiest moment, One of your happiness, even it could be your first part-time salary. Now I understand that you're a full-time student. So after you finish your after you finish your education, you get a job. The first salary, you see, the money is a different point. What did you do with your first salary? You bought something for yourself, your parents, your loved ones. If you have a pet, something for your pet, something for your friends. So those are the memorable moments. If I ask you to take a moment to look back, it could be a promotion, it could be a recognition by your superior, by your a lecturer. You did a good job, dear. You did an assignment. Okay, in the assignment you got 80 marks, 90, 100. So you say, okay, you did a good job, dear. These are the areas you did well. These are the areas you could improve. Now that is a positive feedback. Similarly, these are emotions. Yesterday I was at a meeting, at a workshop, and I delivered a vote of thanks. And my vice rector came to me and said, "Arun, fine job during the workshop, 3-day workshop." So these are the moments we remember, rather than how much money did I get, or what is the how much money did I get credited in my bank account, etc., etc. Most likely. So birth of a child, recognition, meeting your life partner, then notable achievement of your children, perhaps your first earning, at least, or what did you do with that? A promotion. These are emotional memories. What did you do? I felt happy when I got a promotion as a senior lecturer. Then I came to know that there is a hike. Basically, there is a hike. After it got created in my bank account, that's a different point. But they announced when I got promoted as a senior lecturer, I was happy. So that's my last emotional memory. Yesterday I had an emotional memory. I was uploaded by my vice rector. I was happy about that. Not monetary benefit. There was no monetary benefit. Money is not related with everything. So is what I have learned from my life. So every action we take is driven by either a physiological or emotional need. We go to a favorite restaurant because they give favorite food, nice food. A good restaurant, nice food should be emotionally happy, and also it should satisfy our physical needs as well. So emotion influence basically our behavior. Our emotions will make how we behave. If you are happy, someone says, okay, these are so many examples I can give. When someone says you are beautiful, the first emotion is you are happy. If you are happy, you can see this world as beautiful. That's what, if you want to refer to Dow's campaign, Dow's campaign of their marketing. Okay, they don't really focus on the skin tone to define beauty. Again, there is beauty and intelligence. That's another day. That's a topic for another day. But today I'm going to limit to emotional intelligence. So that influence our behavior, and we need to know how to control our emotions. So people would have said in your childhood to you, when you're angry, don't talk, count till 10, let yourself cool down, then start talking. So these are some terms which we should put in our lives every now and then. So what is this emotional ripple? This is what we talk generally when we ask someone, do you know me? Now I will ask first question, do you know you? Do you know yourself? If we talk about emotional skills, developing emotional skills, 5 skills are there. In 5 skills, more or less 3.5 belong to you. Three and a half belong to you. Only 1.5, 1 or 1.5 belong your interaction with others. So that's the catch. So first of all, knowing yourself is very, very, very crucial. Meditation is a good way. Thinking in silence is a good way. So we're going to talk about that a little later. So yes, dear, but a standard of living again. When we talk about standard of living, that again differs. So there are people who are in cottages, they are happy. There are people who are in, if you would say, single floor or daba, a simple tiled house, they are happy. Villa, they are happy. Resorts, people go to resorts, they are happy. So again, what is standard of living? And that is again subject to, that's a proper definition. Yes, good. So we talk about artificial intelligence, particularly emotional intelligence. When we talk about AI, contributing factors include life experiences, dramatic events, educational major successes or failures, even. So that shape up people, hopes, aspirations, and they're complex. They're very complex under the influence by our feelings, reactions to the emotional and environmental stimuli. I'm sure you would have read the classical conditioning theory, operant conditioning theory in organizational behavior. When we talk about stimulus and response, there's a gap between a stimulus and a response. If this is stimulus, there is a response. This gap is there. How do people react in this gap? That defines lives. Once you have received an information and your reaction to it, the gap, how Being complacent, these days we are discussing, being complacent is a serious crime. We can't just take things as granted. So we should understand things seriously, and we should always address this gap between stimulus and response. So this is how, basically, why someone behaves in a such a way. If you had heard about a theory called 5 why theory, it's a 5 why theory. Ask the first question, why? Second question, why? Third question, again, why? Fourth question, again, why? At the fifth question, most likely, if it is a very complex problem, it's a very complex issue, then for the fifth why, you'll get the root cause. What exactly is happening? Why did you do this? Is that the case? Why did you do that? In that case, why was that action taken? Why did you think that action was fine to get this result? In that case, who made you think so? What made you think so? Have you, why did you think this is the most feasible? So try this 5 why theory, you will do better. Then we talk about emotions, particularly physiological responses that results into feelings. So for example, in our classrooms, they say, "Sir, AC is it's too cold, it's freezing, it's too hot. We are not able to concentrate." We changed the college classrooms chairs just because students complained that there is the issue. They say that sir, sitting 2 hours in a plastic chair is quite difficult. So we have changed it. So we want a happy emotion to be generated. Emotion should be happy. We should give choice of students, or of everyone, why not students, everyone, that they need to choose happiness. When emotions, through emotions there'll be feelings, and those feelings will be reflected through our behavior. We say, not an angry customer, perhaps a disappointed customer. Not an angry customer. No one wants to generate anger out of nowhere. If they are disappointed, yes, I'm disappointed. Yes, still you don't have to feel that emotion of anger, but still you can convey your disappointment in a very brief way. Succinctly, you can convey your disappointment. Other than that, when emotions and feelings and behavior, these are not controlled properly, there comes a lot of problems. Believe me, I said this the other day in my class. Words are better than swords. Words, WRDS, words. Talk to people rather than using swords. I hope I'm clear so far. So emotions and we. So these are basic emotions, very basic emotions, types of basic emotions. We can choose happiness, we can choose sadness again, and we can choose fear, we can choose dissent, we can choose anger, we can choose even surprise as well. I didn't know that. When COVID outbreak, even these days also we're talking about Omicron, and what's the catch? My colleagues are calling me, they're coming back to India, they're flying. Um, they're talking 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a week ago. They're saying, "Sir, what is going to happen? I booked my ticket." I said, "Sir, there is nothing you can and I can do anything about it. The world will decide. Wait for it. Other than that, panicking won't help. I booked my ticket. I'm waiting how it goes. Other than that, if I start thinking, what if my flight gets delayed? What if my flight gets cancelled? What about my holiday plan?" Well, if that is the question, the next question is find alternatives. Other than that, other emotions won't really progress. They won't help. And the next point which I would like to discuss with you guys is residue. We have positive emotions, we feel positive emotions. All is not lost. We are not in a disarray, we are not in a worst condition. We are able to eat 3 times a day. We have people who love us, we love people, our family, we love a lot of people, we are being loved. So positive emotions are there. Similarly, if we choose, there are negative emotions. See, if you guys remember, Rafael Nadal, he walked out from an international tennis tournament because he didn't see it's worth it. If he goes forward, that might affect his whole career. Now there is an option to feel disappointment. I can choose. I can be disappointed. I can be disappointed with myself. Will that help? Is a question I ask. Being anger, will that help? Looking it as a failure, will that help? Well, okay. Next time. There's always next time. But we have to do it with consciousness, absolute consciousness. We are not kidding around. Whatever we do, we should do it consciousness. Failure, disappointment, guilt, frustration. So these are some of the negative emotions. What I would like to conclude is, you have positive emotions in your life, you have negative emotions in life. What will you take forward? That's the catch. The catch is you take emotion residue positively, you take positive emotion intelligence as a emotion residue which you like to take forward. That's what I said. You had a great breakfast, you went for a run in the morning, you did a good exercise, you did meditation. Okay, you did meditation, you did a good exercise, then you had a great breakfast. So that feeling should continue till the end of the day. I am tired is a choice we had made for ourselves. You see, when you come to your college at the first hour of the first minute of the first hour till the last minute of the last hour, you should be strong, you should be happy. So when people say that happened to me, that's going to haunt me forever, then people won't grow. Believe me when I say. Believe me when I say. So this is what we call emotional residue. When you take sadness forward, there is sorrow in our life. When you take happiness forward, there is happiness in our life. When we take happiness forward, when we take appreciation forward, my boss said I did a good job. My lecturer said I did a good job. I made new friends. I had a great coffee. So these are positive emotions we take forward. When there are negative emotions, we can take negative emotions. What is happiness? What is sadness? Again, this is subjective. This is absolutely subjective. So that's where I will move on. So these are some of the common emotions. I'm quite sorry, this is not supposed to be like this. For some reason, okay, that's not a problem. Just give me a second. I have converted it in my PPT. It shows it is. So I'm sorry. So let me get back to you on this. Some emotions, I just read them down, not completely, but anger, sadness, anxiety, hurt, embarrassment, and happiness. So these are some of the common emotions. This PPT shared with and it will be shared with you guys very soon, I believe. Just have a look. All right, sir. Is it fine?
Arun, actually, there is some noise is coming in your voice. Please do check.
Is it? I'm in a okay. I'm in a closed environment, sir. I can't hear anyone around
Now,
me. But let me.
yeah, now this is fine.
I even okay. Okay,
Fine,
sir.
fine.
Okay, no problem. Okay, sir. Excellent. Thank you very much. So
Yeah, you can continue.
let's go forward. But yes, sir. Thank you.
Outline.
So there are some of the common emotions. List of common emotions as we feel most
Inshallah.
of our life. Anger is something we feel. Sadness is something we feel. There's anxiety, there's hurt, there's embarrassment, and there's happiness.
Can you voice
These are the
import?
common emotions. And I will go forward.
Import.
So let's enter the subject. What exactly
Arun,
we are
Arun,
going to discuss.
little bit. Arun,
Yes, sir.
your voice is not audible. I mean, little bit louder, or you have to set the system. It's louder. You just speak once again.
Yes, sir. Am I audible now? Is it too loud or too low?
Yeah, actually too low. Actually, you just come near to the mic or whatever.
I'm using a headset, sir. I'm using a headset,
Yeah.
and volume is also very good. I can see
Now it is
the
okay.
lights also. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now,
Excellent. Excellent. Thank
now
you.
it is okay. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So let's quickly talk about what is emotional intelligence. This is not a definition again. I will let you guys explore this. Emotional intelligence, particularly, is an ability we can hone, we can gain, we can excel at. Ability is something you learn, right? Ability to understand and to regulate. I'm sure you guys studied FERA and FEMA, uh, foreign exchange regulation and management. So regulate emotion in oneself and in others. So you have to be calm and composed. I'm sure if you guys know MS Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he's called as cool captain, Captain Cool. Some commentators also use the term cool as cucumber. So similarly, you should be calm and composed because you can focus. You have to focus. First of all, you should be in a good position to decide and then pass a judgment. You say you won't find judges getting emotionally involved. If you have seen court scenes as well, you won't see judges emotionally involved. They will hear. They will keep their minds out of bias very clearly. They will feel empathy, then they'll decide. So we are talking about emotion intelligence. First we need to regulate our emotions, then we can regulate others emotions. If two people are shouting at each other, what's the point? One should stop shouting, others should also stop shouting. They shouldn't start in the first place. When someone is shouting, relax, take it easy, understand why they are shouting. I can understand your disappointment, sir. We are so sorry from our side. This is how we're gonna make things up for you. It's something what we need to proceed with. So high emotion intelligence, particularly, you should be optimistic. If you're optimistic, yes, your emotional intelligence is high. All is not lost. Believe me when I say. And greater impulse control, impulse buying. This is another issue. Impulse buying. People just buy out of. They're walking in Besant Road. They're walking in Bandha. They went to Lifestyle. You know, they went to PVR. They went to PVP. They found an offer. Do I need it or not? No, that's not the catch. There is an offer. I have to buy it. So that's another issue. That's what we talk about. Impulsive and better mood all the time. Happy mood all the time. Simply empathetic perspective, then empathetic perspective talking, more closeness and also warmth in relationship, and persistence under frustration. Conditions are frustrating, but still we are going towards a positive outcome. This is what we call emotional intelligence. The days are good, the days are bad. Again, that is we to judge. It rains. For some people it is happy, for some it is not. Uh, yes, again we can decide. Excuse me. So we talk about education, particularly emotional intelligence. It is regarded as a key area for us as a teacher's qualification, for self-management, for perception enhancement. Why someone is doing like this? Why? I say in my class, when you are in my class, I want 100% attention. If you have better things to do, you can do it outside this class. At least wherever you are, be happy and have a focus. Don't sit in my class and they say that, right, you guys know this, mind absent body present. Mind is somewhere else, body is here, mind is there. I don't see a point. Dear, you got something great to do other than this class, just go somewhere, do it. I don't mind, the door is open for you. You want to leave, you can leave. Do whatever you do it for good. So that's what we talk in our classrooms. uh, just one more minute. So we talk about self-management, perception enhancement, then balanced rapport all the time, all the time, all the time, balanced rapport. As we talk about literature reviews, particularly, people write essays. Essays are focused on one area. Literature review identify the pros and cons. Pros, cons. Look at all the perspectives. Clear bias from our minds. That's the first question we need to answer. So there are 5 components, as Rajesh sir said earlier. There is self-awareness, self-regulation, then motivation, particularly empathy, and also social call. Particularly when we talk about self-awareness. Point number one, you need to be very much able to recognize and understand your moods. Where are you exactly in at the moment? Your emotions, your tribes, as well as that effect on others. If you are sad, what kind of effect that will result to others? If you are happy, what sort of effect? This comes with your self-confidence and realistic self-assessment, and also you need to understand yourself, your self-depleting sense of humor. Would you joke on yourself? That's a self-awareness. You should really know where you stand. And talk about self-regulation, we talk about motivation. You should be able to regulate yourself. We might pass through number of emotions, but always we should be in a balanced condition. You're happy? Yes, I'm happy. All the time? Most of the time? All the time? Yes, I'm happy. So that's what we talk. Motivation. Motivation. It's I believe when I say I will be little disturbed when someone tells me what to do. If I was at no clue, we talk to people. Yes, we give a feedback. Yes, we take a feedback. Yes, we should be motivated. I ask this question everyone. what makes. Yes, sir. Any issues? Rajesh, sir?
Yeah, you just lean towards the system so that we are getting good clarity. If you are leaning backwards,
Okay, sir.
no,
Sure.
yeah,
Okay, sir.
thank you.
Sure. No problem. Yes, sir. Sure. So we talk about motivation again. You need to be motivating yourself. No one comes and motivate you. Believe me when I say my father asked me to read since from my childhood, and he made me study till my graduation. My first post graduation, second post graduation, my doctorate, my moving away from the country, moving within colleges, how I wake up. That is all my motivation. If someone else motivates you, that's a different point. But you need to be motivating yourself all the time, because believe me when I say people can motivate others, people can say you can do a good job. I see you're worth it. I have confidence in you. I can say that. But again, you should know where you stand. You should know what makes you go quicker. So we talk about empathy. We talk about social skill as well in detail. Empathy is first of all you need to understand others. You see, when you go to a doctor, if doctor doesn't understand the patient's issues, he's not a good doctor. Doctor should know, lawyer should know, we as a lecturer should know, we should understand what's the case, what's the condition. We should understand, we should listen to others. Organization is a group of people working together for common objectives, for achieving common objectives. You can achieve common objectives a little later. Objectives will be achieved automatically if you do a good job every day. All's well, ends well. So, in order to work in teams, empathy is a number one skill we have to generate. You see, the first three skills, as I said earlier, self awareness, self regulation, motivation. These three are your own. You should be aware of yourself, you should regulate yourself, you should motivate yourself. When you form a group, when you are a part of a family, when you are a part of a group in your group assignments, when you are a part of a group in your work environment, you should be empathetic. Everyone should be empathetic, not just one. Everyone should be empathetic. We should understand what others are thinking, looking, acting, on what basis are they doing these actions. That's empathetic. And particularly we talk about social skill. You should have that. You should build network, right? Yeah, that's the catch. Social skill is very important. How popular are you in your college? That's the catch. It's a very important. Social skill is very important. You should know almost everyone, and you should hold good relationships with everyone. So that's the catch. So let's go a little detail on what the self-awareness means. A state of knowing yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your strengths, your weaknesses. You are not going to be hopelessly pessimistic. I am good at nothing is a nonsense statement. And I'm best at everything is again another nonsense statement. Over optimistic and hopelessly pessimistic. I'm sure you guys have studied the Johari window. That's a good example. And particularly, I'm sure some of you guys, or most of you guys, or ideally all of you, go to a gym or do some exercise. And also pranayama, particularly we talk about the controlled breathing, is what we talk about. Self-awareness. You should know what is the weight you can lift. There, if you go to a gym, there are weights from 5 kilo to 15 kilo, 20 kilo, depending upon the gym. On the first day itself, when we started warming up, that's the first day at gym. We never hit the gym on the in our previous time, and this is the first time we went. We don't jump onto the heaviest. We go to a smallest one. Self awareness is very important. Similarly, pranayama. On an average, a human can hold his or her breath from 1 minute to 3 minutes. I held my breath for 2 minutes recently. The catch is, I say you can control your breathing from 4 seconds to 3 minutes, perhaps. That's a different point. You should know, because as I said earlier, you are the best person to judge yourself. To always take wise decisions, right decisions, not the easy decisions, right decisions. Self awareness, in what condition are you? What emotion are you in? People will also say that basically you can say you're happy, don't make promises. That is, I won't agree to that. When you're happy, don't make promises. When you're sad, don't make promises. Happiness is an emotion, sadness is emotion. Be controlled all the time. Self awareness. What are your emotions? What are your drives? What are your strengths? You can say this is not my cup of tea. See, we say our area of expertise or the things we know. If I go for running 5 kilometers in 35 minutes is my speed. I can cover 5 kilometers. Can you cover in 30 minutes? I said, no, and I don't think I can do that. Not at this moment. I'm aware of what I can do. I'm not a world's fastest runner or world's best swimmer or anything else. You should know your game and play accordingly. That's the first skill you need to develop. After that, you got your self regulation. When you talk about internal feelings, if you do a productive feeling, if you have a productive feeling, productive day, again make it productive. If you have if your emotion is more towards self regulation, and self regulation is effective self regulation is how you can do a better job with your life. And we can proceed, as I said earlier in the beginning, emotional residue. How do you carry your emotions? You can feel that your day is happy, your evening is going to be happy, your night is going to be happy, your sleep is going to be happy, your morning there was an issue, move on, start afresh. Every second you have, every minute you have is a new opportunity. So clear them out and go forward. That's what we call self regulation. Once you know how you are, then you need to start making yourself happier on a positive note. And we talk about motivation. As I said earlier, complacement. Complacement is a serious problem. People, most of the employees, they take everything for granted. That is something which we are disappointed with. You can do a better job, so they need to motivate themselves. My students, I see, very good in class. When they come to projects, effort. Dear, I expected more from you. What happened? So people say, sir, I was busy with my work. Again, your motivation. You should be motivated. Initiative is very important. Enthusiasm, energy, commitment, passion, persistence. That's very important. You should take the initiative. You should be the first one to move forward, right or wrong. If you don't give a try, how are you going to learn? Similarly, enthusiasm. Always be enthusiastic. Always be ready to learn something new. Then energy is very important. High energy, as I said earlier. You should be, after having breakfast, after having lunch, after having your dinner, still energetic, active. Similarly, commitment is very important. Once we have promised something, we have to commit for it. If not, there is no point. Similarly, passion is very important. What we are working for, you should have a passion. You should be really passionate about it, and you should be persistent. Because, as I said in the beginning, instant gratification, I don't think that's going to work at all the states. All the Once I finish my whole year in my schooling at my ninth standard, once I got my good marks, my father bought me a bicycle. I have to wait 1 year. Persistence. You should be there. You should stand there. You should stand. You should wait until it finishes. So these are layers of motivation. As you can see, first, self-efficacy is very important. Can I do it? As I said earlier, the previous step, regulation, self-regulation is there. So you need to regulate yourself. You need to understand what is your game. If you have signed up, I say this. See, you guys are doing your MBA. You have to be a good manager. That's what you are being trained for 2 years. For 2 years, you are being trained for that. So give it a try. Self efficacy is very important. First, you need to understand, can you do it or not. After that, if you are capable of doing it, then go for will it work or not. That's what we call response efficacy. Then finally, we talk about competency. First, you need to understand, is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's again a very serious question. First of all, are you capable of doing it? We don't waste our time in silly things, simple things. We should say, is it worth it or not? Is it worth doing or not? That's a very good question you should ask yourself. Empathy. Empathy is very important. You need to develop this skill very precisely. Empathy is simple. These are very important skill, as I said earlier. Place yourself in someone else's shoes. You should be able to understand what others are saying. You should forget your understandings at the minute. You should forget what your perspective is for that minute and look at from others perspective as well. Having a 360 degrees view is very important. It's like your panorama setting in your camera. If you take a panorama picture, you can cover more or less a wider perspective than a single frame. You should look from multiple perspectives. Why did you say that? Why did he say that? Why did she say that? Why are they acting in such a way? So you should look from others' perspective. Then you'll understand the motivation. I'll give you a simple question. Okay, simple case. I'll tell you. There are two people who found an orange. A girl and a boy found an orange. They are fighting amongst each other, saying that I saw it first. I saw it first. Eventually, there is no judge to decide, so they got to decide. So what they did is they have cut the apple in the half and they walked away. They didn't ask why did you need the apple. No, they didn't ask why did you need the apple. Why did you need the orange? So they didn't ask why did you need the orange. They just said my orange, my orange, no, my orange, no, my orange. So finally they have agreed to cut it into half. They walked away. So the catch here is the girl wanted the peel of the orange to make a cake. She got nothing to do with the flesh of the orange. Whereas the boy wanted the flesh of the orange to eat immediately, and he has thrown the peel away. Just imagine if there was a question that I was asked, like, why do you need this orange? Yeah, you saw the orange, I saw the orange, I don't see this going anywhere. Why do you need it anyway? I'm just curious. Well, I want to make a cake out of it. I need the peel of the orange. Okay, I want to eat the flesh of the orange. So I'll take the whole orange. You take the whole peel. You get the whole peel rather than half of the peel. And on the contrary, I get half of the orange. I'll get a full orange. You get a full peel. That makes life happier. It's the catch. That's what we call empathy. And as you can see over here, how to feel empathetic. Now you can see a picture next to you. Basically, that is what we talk about empathy. First, what I want you guys to do is, after this class at least, what I want you guys to do is take a piece of paper, fold it twice so you can get four quadrants, write a say on the top, listen to what they are saying all the time. Listening is a very, very, very important skill. Believe me when I say, last night I was telling to my students, I'm sure you guys know LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So first, listen. Listening is a crucial skill. We say this in performance reviews, negotiations. 80% of managers' time they should spend in listening. So what you say, what others say, write it down. Think, what did they say? Then start feeling it. This is empathy. Just listening to them and ignoring that, there is no point. Are you even listening to me? People ask, are you even listening to me? So first they need to say, think, feel, do, and say what you got to say. Think, what did they say? Read their emotions, feel their emotions, do appropriately. This is a cycle that continues forever. First, they have to say their problem. You should think, what did they say? You should feel. This is a crucial aspect. Feeling. When you feel, that's where our emotions come play. I don't really believe in this term called mind is different, heart is different. That's a Western perspective. We don't really have to follow. I don't follow it. So decisions we take, rational or emotional. That's all. So feel it, feel and do. That's a better way of settling things. So that's what we call empathy. Believe me, it is one of the most crucial skills these days. In CVs, we are writing these skills. I'm empathetic with an evidence, of course. Then we talk about social skills, particularly. Just excuse me for a minute. Yeah. So we're talking about social skills. Social skills is very important. You should have a lot of friends. Believe me when I say all your classmates. How many are your friends? All your batchmates. How many are your friends? How many know you? When was the last time you said a hi to a stranger? You made a friend. These are social skills. These are very important. We should be able to. I made a lot of friends. Yes, we are coming to that. Emotion. We haven't finished our concept yet. I'll come to you once I finish this. It's a good question. So let me finish this. We are talking about social skills. Ask yourself these questions. How good am I in building a social relationship? So how we interact with each other is very important. Listening is very important, as I said earlier. Build meaningful relations with other people. That's very important. Very, very important. We should know each other. How well do we know each other? That's the catch. Understanding others' emotions. That's the catch. So we should know why they think in such a way. That's the position in marketing also. I'm sure you would study STP, segmentation, targeting, positioning. Segmentation is empathy. Targeting is empathy. Positioning. Why 7 o'clock? Why Pizza Hut? Why Nike's that swoosh? Everything we need to think from others' perspectives as well. Even in your NPD, new product development, the penultimate step before commercialization, test marketing, you should invite people and ask them, how did you like it? So you need that good connection with everyone. Make friends all the time. I'm sure you have a LinkedIn profile. So expand your network. Relationships are very important. You should possess those interpersonal skills. You should always, collaboration is stuff of growth. That's what we say. You should be collaborative. You should work with others. You should form a team and achieve great success. You should be a team player. Similarly, you should understand others. Always, we should be able to understand others. If the day we don't help others, how can we expect them to come and help us? That's the point. Similarly, always be empathetic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, always be empathetic. Understand what conditions others are going in through, and always be compassionate. So, always be compassionate. Think for yourself and think for others. That's very important. We are, in other words, people say we are social animals. We are living in a civilized society, so we should think for others. When I walk around the beaches, I don't want to see plastic water bottles floating on the sea. Plastic pollution is a serious cause, a serious cause that is damaging this environment. Littering is a serious cause. So social skills, we just need to have that open mind. In Hindi, there is a word which is called hasmukh. Hasmukh, which means face is always smiling. It looks like he's always smiling. So there is an approachable face. There is more an approachable face rather than a grumpy face, eyebrows frown, not looking into eye, talk, making eye contact. These kind of things won't really help. So always be happy, choose happiness is what we talk. So moving on towards the end. So how you can build and drive emotional intelligence? Be mindful. Always be mindful. Know what you're talking, know where you are, know what you're doing, know what is your game, know what is your play, know where you stand, what is your position of negotiation. Resilience is very important. We talk about resilience and we talk about compassion. So let's see. When we talk about mindfulness, be in the present. Past is a memory that will guide your future. First time it's a mistake, second time it's a choice. We do one mistake over and over, that's a choice. So once we might fall, then immediately we have to rise. That's what we call persistence as well. Conscious, as I said earlier, body and mind. You should be aware of yourself and you should be mindful as well. The day we lost our consciousness, people say he or she lost their consciousness. That is what we talk about consciousness. Okay, physically they lost their consciousness. Mentally, are they here? That's the position. That's the question. So, how to fuel yourself? I would like to say sports. So sports is a very good. I used to play badminton before I got my ankle twisted, but after that, I went for running. I mean swimming, etc., etc. Sports is good. Physical activity is very important, and have proper food, proper nutrition, and good sleep. Sound sleep is what I said in the beginning. Deep sleep. Once you close your eyes, on an average, a good human being who is in proper mental condition, they'll slide into the sleep within 20 minutes. If you climb onto your bed and sleep at close your eyes at 10 o'clock, by 10:20 you should go into sleep. Much earlier than that, that's also great. But beyond 20 minutes, then start thinking. People roll on the bed from this end to that end. I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. Insomnia. Why do those happen? Think. And also, always work. Meditation is very important. Spend some time with yourself. Do meditation, box breathing, controlled breathing, pranayama, particularly we talk about. Then we talk about mindful breathing. We precisely talk about mindful breathing. Always work and concentrate. Concentration is very important. Awareness of your body, your mind, your soul, and how to release tension. You listen to songs, you play games, but it's all about to cope up with the tensions. Other than that, nothing else. I say this every now and then to my students as well. My deadlines are Thursdays. I'll put a Thursday as a deadline. Whatever task I give, I'll set Thursday. Do it Thursday. Friday and Saturday are holidays. Enjoy your weekend. Work hard, party harder. So always be aware of yourselves. You don't deserve a treat. You don't deserve a applause, you don't deserve prize until you do a good job. So first work very hard and enjoy the return is what we talk. That's mindfulness. That's very important. Similarly, how to build compassion, distress tolerance. Yes, we face we face challenges, we face angry customers, disappointed employees. Still you need to be tolerant. You should not judge. Judging is not our role. We are not qualified for that. I'm not qualified. I can't judge others lives. I would like to say you could have done a better job, dear. Well, you could have planned better. These are the areas you need to improve. We write a detailed feedback. We don't judge others on bias, and also be sensitive. So when people write a mail to me asking for an extension, I say, after pandemic particularly, I said, no dear, I can't give an extension. I understand your condition. I'll first say, by dear so and so, I feel very sorry for your condition. I hope you get a quick recovery. As far as your assignment is considered, well, I suggest you to do this. Sensitivity is important. If I was in that case, what could be the catch is very important. We need to understand, and we should show interest in others' issues. That's compassion. When we are talking, others are not listening, what's the point? When others are talking, we are not listening, what's the point? So interest, be show your interest in others. Absolute eye contact, looking straight into the eye, nodding, writing points, noting. That is a display of interest. Similarly, we talk about this is a book I have referred. I will give the reference at the end. These are 5 dimensions of success according to Purushottam and Rajgopalan. As a small, beautiful book I have referred. So good health is very important. Financial independence is very important, and also social acceptability. We should be welcomed. We should welcomed everywhere, wherever we go, with a smile. Similarly, we need to feel, others need to feel that we are having relations, a sense of well-being. We should feel that, and also being loved. I believe this all the time. If you love someone, you are gifted. If you are being loved by someone, you are blessed. Believe me when I say. So we should love others and others should love us. So that's the catch. When did the last time we were asked, had your lunch, had your dinner? So anyway, concluding my lecture, what I choose, basically what I suggest others to choose, as well as to choose a peace over war, happiness over sorrow, compassion over domination, love over hate, and the list is endless. So choosing, as one of my very good friend said to me some time ago, emotions are choices. What we choose is our emotion. We can choose to be happy, we can choose to be sorrow, we can choose to be sad, we can choose to be, again, joyful. So that's the question. That's the question. So these are some references. This is the book I was referring to, Emotional Intelligence, Purushottam Rajgopal, 2021, Sage Publications. Do have a look, and these are some other references as well. So that's where I conclude my small, simple lecture. I finished well before 1 hour. Glad. Any questions, any thoughts, any insights, anyone? And yes, to answer Akash's question, how does emotional intelligence affect problem solving? You see, you need to look at a problem at multiple perspectives. If a person poses you a problem, if a friend comes to you and tells you a problem, dude, this is the problem, okay, listen from your friend's perspective, listen from others perspective, listen from stakeholders. I'm sure you would have heard the word of stakeholders. So stakeholder management is very important. When a board of directors, they sit at the board, they don't talk only about their interests. What do the stakeholders want? What are the expectations of your stakeholders? Every person who's involved in your business activity, in your life, is a stakeholder. If you take this decision, what kind of reactions might you can expect from different parties? You need to understand that from everyone's perspective, and make a judgment, make a decision which is commonly accepted by everyone. That is what we talk about emotional intelligence in problem solving. You should understand from everyone's perspective. And how can we improve our mental stability? Yes, Miss Samraj Lakshmi. So this is something which I would like to tell you. When you want to develop your emotional and mental stability, always be mindful. Mind is a fascinating tool. Believe me when I say you can control your emotions. Don't let others rule your emotions. Don't let others make you angry. We should not give that rights to others. Angry, being disappointed, these are emotions we choose. Always look from a different perspective. There is always hope. We fall today, we rise again. Boxer, when the boxer gives up, that's when he loses. Referee counts till 10. Once he falls, until the 10th count, he doesn't get up. Okay, that's fine. He'll come back tomorrow. He'll fight again. Always be strong. Always think for the positive. Think for the future as a great opportunity. Believe me when I say every day is an opportunity. Every minute is an opportunity. We can prove we could be someone else yesterday, but we are going to be someone else tomorrow. Today, we'll start working from today. We failed, we'll rise. We got a 40, next target 50, next target 60, next 70, next 80, next 90, next 100. What is something we can't achieve? Did I answer your question, Samaraj Lakshmi? Yes, miss. You face ethical dilemma at work. Ethics, we are not talking about ethics in this catch, but still I can tell you something about ethics. Well, I'll tell you, very recent case, 2 days ago, we are not taking exceptions. We are not taking personal circumstances form. Personal circumstance form. We used to have personal circumstance form, PC. So if you have a personal circumstance, very seriously, you can fill the form saying the reason and send it to me. Send it to the lecturer. So there was one lecturer who accepted the personal circumstance form and gave an extension. When I was moderating that module, I came to know, I talked to the lecturer, dear, this student submitted 7 days late. Why so? Then the lecturer said, sir, that student have submitted a PC form. I said, we are not accepting PC forms. That's unfair. Other students who submitted on time got a 50. This student submitted 6 days late with a 70. I won't accept this mark. That's an ethical dilemma. Now that's under conclusion. I said my decision. I'm not accepting. That's not ethical. If I accept this, I make the other student, her or his condition unfair. That is not ethical. Ethics are very important. Ethics and sustainability. You see, again, critical thinking is looking at from different perspectives and understanding, as I said earlier, 5 whys. Think very critically. If you want to think very critically, you need to know the perspectives. Without understanding others' perspectives, we can't think critically. If I say my decision from my perspective, that is limited. I won't get consensus from others. I should look from others' perspective as well. Okay, I'll tell you. The other day, we are planning to have a staff dinner. I asked people, where do you want to have your dinner? This place or that place? This restaurant or that restaurant? You should understand, not from my perspective. I have so many favorite restaurants. But I want everyone's restaurant where we have a consensus and we give a decision. If we don't think from everyone's perspective. See, emotional intelligence, if I answered the question, emotional intelligence works, you see, organization is group of people working together for a common objective. If group of people can't work together, if they don't have empathy towards each other, there are no social skills. My employees, my colleagues are not my friends. I don't like any one of them. They don't like with me. You know, most of the stress factors at workplace, colleagues not cooperating with each other. That's highly stressful. When colleagues don't have that social skill, when colleagues rise with their if you guys remember your psychological theories as well, when id ego super ego, I'm sure you guys would have gone through that. So the point here is, if we don't think on others' perspectives, we can't take a decision. We absolutely can't take a decision which favors everyone. As I said earlier, we say this, India is a democratic country. India is world's largest democracy. Why aren't we the happiest country in this world? Again, being an Indian, I can make that comment. Yes, there are other countries as well. But the catch is, if you are not emotion intelligent, if you are not aware of your emotions, if you are not aware of your emotions, if you are not aware of how to regulate your emotions, you can't motivate yourself. Yes, you can't motivate yourself. Oneself, they can't motivate. They can't talk to others. They can't motivate others, and they can't socially acceptable. What's the point? And non-judgmental compassion. Yes, compassion is important. Compassion is very important. That's a quality of being emotionally intelligent. That's the point. When you are compassionate about others, non-judgmental. Rahul, I'm not really clear how non-judgmental compassion. See, what we say is, when you are compassionate, you should be very clear. You are not thinking only for yourself. You are thinking for others as well. So that boosts the compassion, that boosts the emotional intelligence, as we said earlier, that drives the emotional intelligence. When you're compassionate, when you're resilient, you're mindful, then you are emotionally intelligent. You need to be compassionate. You need to think for others as well. That's how a family works. What does the mother think about the children? What does the father think about the children and the family? What does this is the catch? This is what the organization is. Organization is a family. Organization is also the same. Family is also the same. Compassion is very important. And social skills affect learning. This is again learning, Jahnavi. When we talk about social skills, yes, we encourage social skills. We talk about collaboration, stuff of growth. You should make friends. Some students tell me that, particularly social skills. When we ask people, students to join groups, groups should join in a snap. In a snap, groups should be joined. You should be socially so effective. There are some students who come from second year to third year, but not a same batch, a different batch. Say that student is absolutely new to everyone. Then I ask students to make groups. Then once that student comes to me and say, "Sir, no one picked me. I am not in any group." I ask, "Dear, did you ask anyone to make? Did you request anyone that I would like to join your group?" "No, sir, I didn't. I didn't know anyone." That's fine. Okay, that's the issue. As I see, go forward in next class or in your Viber groups, or when next you meet them, present yourself in a such a way that you are socially acceptable, and you will be joined. You will be forming a group. Being a group, being a form of a, being acting as a group member is very important. So if I don't know anyone, I don't like to take strangers. Perhaps that's a thought my fellow students had, my students had. I don't want to work with strangers. I don't know anything about that person. He's a stranger, she's a stranger. I don't know if I work with him or her, I might succeed. Then people started by saying, okay, I know him, I know her, he's good, she's good. So emotional intelligence, that's a person saying no without no saying no. Okay, you are managers tomorrow. You need to understand this very clearly. Saying no is a skill. We are not here to please people. On a good note, at the end of the day, you don't want to take something which you can't do, and you don't want to do something which is not right. At that case, no, I can't do it. That was asked. That was asked. I was asked, why will you be able to let the student go? I said, no, I'm not happy. I don't see that as a fair decision. No, I won't do that. So I don't know what others will take that perspective. That student got a 70 out of 100, but still I said no. That student might get a 70, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever the question is. I'm not accepting the student's submission. I don't find guilty. I don't find any guilty in that. Some might like me, some might dislike me. It's a practice. It's a practice. The other student should not be. If the other student, if everyone gets the same starting line and everyone gets the same ending line, now that's the question. After pandemic, particularly, we are not taking PCs. I'm not giving any extra. I'm saying if you want to go for a reset, go for a reset. Uncapped reset. Earlier we used to cap the reset to 40 marks. You get a first attempt, you score a 80, it stays as an 80. In the second attempt, you score an 80, it will be capped to 40. Yes, Preeti, that's a very good question. How to manage ourselves after having a bad day? Jump out of it, dear. We are not in the day anymore. Just imagine it happened in the day. We are in the evening. It happened in the morning. I'm in the afternoon. It's a different part of a day. Evening is a different part of a day. Night is a different part of a day. We are not taking that forward. Don't carry negative emotions. It happened. It happened. What we have learned from that? How can we not do that again? As I said earlier, mistake is once, choice is the second. Opinion on non-judgmental compassion, non-judgmental compassion effects on emotional intelligence. I'm fine with that. You see, compassion is basically again, we don't do judgments. When you see non-judgmental is a part of compassion. So when I'm not judgmental, you see, when I'm not judging anyone, I said this, the student has submitted 7 days late. We are not taking PCs. I won't accept that submission. Compassion, I can think for the student. I have to think for others as well. It's not just one student. One who submitted 7 days late, 8 days late, who finished finish line after 10 minutes, still they'll get a prize. I won't accept for that. Compassion is very important. Being non-judgmental, we are not judging on anyone. We are thinking from others' perspective. I thought from the rest of the students, others. You see, If the deadline is extended for everyone for 7 days, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. 5 students are submitting, extended for 7 days, I'm okay. 4 submitted on the 31st, 1 submitted on the 7th, I won't accept that. So yes, Mahesh, recover from failure. Now you see, what is failure? I could ask a question, what is failure? So reflection, again, as I said earlier, failure is, this is where I did good, this is where I did bad. We might have a, as I said earlier, not complete failure, not a complete failure. For example, you see India versus New Zealand, the first match was a draw, second match was a victory. India lost their World Cup chances by exiting in the knockouts itself. That's a failure. Yes. Now I say India defeated the runner-ups of the last World Cup. Why don't we see that as a success? India defeated the runner-ups of the World Cup. New Zealand was the World Cup runner-up. Then we recovered from it. Recovery is very important. Jump. It's a bad day, not a bad life. Yesterday was bad. Stay it. Keep it there. Yesterday is gone. The day is gone. Today, you should come back to your senses. This day is yours to conquer. Why are we sulking on what happened yesterday? Learn from it. Yeah, I messed up. Okay, I messed up. Yes, I messed up. I'm sorry, I messed up. I didn't anticipate the result is going to be like that. So, Sunanda, emotional intelligence help you to recognize when you need help. Social skills, dear. Social skills. Hone your all 4 skills in the beginning. So your self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation. Then the 4th one, empathy. If you are empathetic, if you understand others' emotions, you will definitely get help. This is what I tell. This is what I tell to my business management students who study their final year, who do a project, or even events and festivals management. You should look from such a perspective of everyone, that everyone thinks, okay, this works for me, I will help you. That's the question though. That's the point. You should be emotionally intelligent. You should understand why someone is disappointed, why angry customer, as I said earlier, angry customer, not angry customer, disappointed customer. So that's the catch. You should develop your emotional skills such as all 5 skills of emotional intelligence. All 5 skills. Social skills are important. Then your empathy is important. When we don't have empathy, we can't go to social skills. When we don't know where we are standing, our self awareness is important. Our regulation of our emotions and others' emotions as well. I hope I cleared your question.
Yeah, actually, Arun, all the questions are exhausted. I
Yes,
think
sir.
you have
Yes, sir.
answered all of them.
Great,
And
sir.
most of the students are expressing their gratitude to you. They're
My
saying
pleasure.
thanks.
My
So they're
pleasure,
also
sir.
posting their thanking comments on this chat board.
Sure,
So
sir.
we are
Sure, sir.
very happy. We are fulfilled the session. The purpose of the session was met.
Thank you, sir.
And
Glad to know that.
most of the students, they asked very relevant questions. It seems they connected with your talk very well.
Great,
So
sir.
now,
Great to know that.
on behalf of the department, I request our student, MCOM student Preeti, to propose the vote of thanks.
Sure, sir.
Over to Preeti.
Warm evening to our most valued guests, worthy teachers, and all my dear friends. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose vote of thanks. On my behalf, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our distinguished speaker, Dr. Arun Kakani Garu, who spared time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion and for making an excellent presentation and making this seminar a very meaningful and interesting with the facts about knowing oneself is essential for developing, words are better than swords, and detailed explanation on types of emotions, layers of self-motivation, empathy, and sharing a quote that you are the best person to judge yourself. So thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Preeti.
Yeah. Thank you, Preeti, for your wonderful vote of thanks. So, on behalf of the Department of Business Administration of PV Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, I profusely
Yes.
thank our Chief Resource Person, Dr. Arun Kakani,
Yes, sir.
who has given us an extempore talk on the emotional intelligence and you, which is very relevant especially in the present conditions, context. The entire world is suffered with COVID pandemic and such kind of dire situation. These kind of assured talks will help the students to regain their balance. So, once again, I thank Dr. Arun. I will have many more sessions in the future. And with this, we are closing the session. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Rajesh, sir.
And I
Thank you
also
very
thank
much.
all the participants for joining this webinar. We look forward to your participation in our future webinars also. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I
Arun,
hope.
I'm signing off. Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Sure, sir. Take care, sir. Bye bye. I'm signing off
All the
also.
best. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too. You too. You too. Thank you, sir.